What's up, Magic nerds? Today we are taking a look at building Quistis Trepe as a mill Spellslinger commander deck. She's a 3-drop mono-blue human wizard, and upon entering the battlefield, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. We are going to blend her ability to use any graveyard and mill abilities to start having tons of options for spells to cast when she enters. Our main priority is first to start milling our opponents and ourselves to build up some nice graveyards to start choosing spells from. It will also be one of our main win conditions. When it comes to instants and sorceries, we essentially get to treat everyone's graveyard as our hand with this commander. Jace Memory Adept is a fantastic start to this strategy. He can draw us a card and mill one with his +1 ability, but forcing a player to mill 10 with his 0 ability is huge. If we trigger this ability enough times, we are moving our mill strategy along nicely while also hopefully getting some juicy instant and sorcery hits from whoever we are milling. A really cool card that I didn't know existed is Shadowkin. It has flash and reads, at the beginning of your upkeep, each player mills 3 cards. You may exile a creature card from among the cards milled this way. If you do, this creature becomes a copy of that card, except it has this ability. Anything that fills up our opponent's graveyards is great, but we will need to keep up with our opponents who are aggro-focused with cards that give us creature advantage like this one. Zelix Sanity Flayer is another example of this. Whenever a player mills 1 or more creature cards, we create a 1/1 black horror creature token. We can also activate him to make target player mill 3 cards. Let's not forget to mention the Mind Skinner. All damage we deal with creatures will be converted into milling, which is huge, because we know we aren't going for a combat damage win with this deck. The fact that it hits each opponent is also awesome, and we will surely be seeing hits for our deck in just a couple of swings, as the Mind Skinner is unblockable. Some other fantastic mill options include Ruin Crab, Dreamborn Muse, and Riddle Keeper. Let's not forget to include Mindcrank, Mesmeric Orb, and the Water Crystal as awesome artifact mill options as well. We have plenty of options in blue to fill out the deck with lots of mill, but we need to make room for the second part of our strategy, Spellslinging. We are going to be relying on our opponents having some good instant and sorcery hits for us, but that doesn't mean we can't pack in some heavy hitters to guarantee that there will be good spells to cast. Rite of Replication is an example of a generic blue spell that will be awesome to cast on a variety of targets, giving us flexibility and potential ability triggers of the copied creature. It also helps us keep up against aggro decks. Let's also include Curse of the Swine. We get to exile a bunch of creatures and turn them into boars. The specific wording of Quistis allows us to cast spells with X in their cost because we are still spending mana to cast those spells. We also have some counter spells that have mill abilities, like Thought Collapse and Didn't Say Please. Maddening Cacophony, Fractured Sanity, and Fascination are excellent mill sorcery options. Don't forget standard blue removal options like Pongify, Reality Shift, and Rapid Hybridization. The last piece of putting this puzzle together is finding ways of giving Quistis flash, or bouncing her to trigger her ability again. Leyline of Anticipation and Vidalcan Ore are obviously excellent ways of giving our spells flash. This works well with Crystal Shard, which on its own gives us a nice way to recur her effect, but in conjunction with flash makes her even more deadly. We then could include cards like Blur and Planar Incision to give her an instant speed option of responding to spells on the stack. We then have slower ways of bouncing her with cards like Conjurer's Closet, Thassa Deep Dwelling, and Y'shtola Rule. With this much emphasis on bounce effects, we could justify running cards like Sphinx Mindbreaker as well. Our secret stars of the deck are Displacer Kitten and Riptide Laboratory. Displacer Kitten gives us the ability to cast any instant to bounce Quistis, which can come in handy in a lot of scenarios. We could have a juicy target in a graveyard to cast, and a great target for our Pongify. and wait for the perfect opportunity to cast both in response to something our opponent is doing. Riptide Laboratory is an awesome lesser-known land that will have huge synergy with our commander's effect, and can also be a great repeatable protection effect as well. What cards would you include in this build? Let me know in the comments. If you made it this far, type Displacer Kitten somewhere in your comment. Thanks for watching, Magic Nerds, and I'll see you next week.